Welcome to Candidates Dialogue 2025. I'm Daryl Scott. I'm here today with two of the three candidates running for the City of Twinsburg Council-at-Large. Ms. Facina is unable to be here with us this evening, which in no way reflects upon her desire or commitment to work with the residents of Twinsburg. Let's begin with each candidate telling us a little bit about themselves. Mr. Barr, would you begin?
Good evening. Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Um, my name is Scott Barr. I'm the current City of Twinsburg Councilperson at Large. This is the conclusion of my second term, and I'm seeking re-election for a third term. My wife Megan and I have lived in the City of Twinsburg about 16 years. She's a school teacher. I'm a small business owner. In a previous life, I was a police officer, firefighter, and EMT. And I really appreciate the opportunity that the residents have given me the last 8 years to shape the future and continue the positive growth of the city of Twinsburg. We're proud to call Twinsburg home. Neither my wife or I are originally from Twinsburg, and when we decided where it is we wanted to live, Twinsburg just seemed like a perfect fit. We're happy to raise our two children in the community, and it's a place that I am happy to call home. Twinsburg has been just a terrific place. The opportunity that the citizens have given me to serve them has been an absolute blessing, and hopefully they'll continue to find it in their best interest to vote for me this November. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. Let's continue over to Mr. Castillo.
Good evening, and Daryl, thanks for having us, and thanks to Community Focus for hosting this important forum, not only for Twinsburg, but for other cities that you serve. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with Mr. Barr and share some of our ideas as we go forward for this election in November. My wife and I chose to move to Twinsburg during the pandemic. We relocated here, partly because our daughter Claire was born in June of 2020. So those who remember that time frame remember that we were in a little bit of a different period than we are now, and we decided to move closer to my wife's family, which I think many people ended up doing. But we chose Twinsburg, and I would be remiss if I didn't say hello to my kids right now who will be watching one at a time. So hello, Dalton, Claire, and Wells. Thank you for staying up and watching the show. But anyhow, for me, I'm a local realtor here in Twinsburg, and that was also something that I transitioned to when we moved here. Before that, I was in corporate relations for Tribune Company based out of Chicago, where I had the opportunity to oversee community events and funding for different projects around the country, the properties that we owned for Tribune. And my base was in Fort Lauderdale and Orlando. But happy to be here. And I think one of the reasons we chose Twinsburg was for the community that's here. And I think Scott can attest to that as well. We've got great programs. We've got a great library. There's many things to be proud of in Twinsburg. And I only see great things on the horizon for us. So I hope that you get to learn more about me as I've been learning about people in the community as I've either visited you in your home or saw you at the grocery store, the library, or other locations. So thank you very much again for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you both for those answers. Let's go to question number one. If elected, what is your primary goal during your term? We'll start with you, Mr. Castillo.
Thank you. That's a great question. When we moved here, the city square, I guess that'd be my primary focus. And what that comes down to is building a relationship with the township and Reminderville for that matter. But in this case, working with the township. When we moved here, we saw the pretty lights. And then I didn't see anything else happening. And I contacted the city of Twinsburg and learned that the property was indeed owned by the city of the township up in Twinsburg Township, sorry. And called Twinsburg Township, had a conversation with them about programming the square and what that would look like. And conversation kind of went back and forth. But to me, that's the lifeblood of our city. It's the beating heart of where our community pride should be, where we would have festivals, community days, concerts, a farmer's market. And right now, I think is a great time to start that conversation, especially with the township updating the square, how we can work together to program it. So that'd be one of my main priorities and focuses, connecting our city with residents, which I found out for myself and for others. It's like a trivia question. Many people didn't even know that the square was not owned by the city of Twinsburg. So it's going to be hard work, of course, to get that done, but I think that it's worth it. And rebuilding that square and having our community have a heart center is very important to me. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Barr.
Thank you. That's a great question. I'll be honest, I'd like to continue to work on the progress that we have made over the last 8 years and last 2 administrations. The city right now is in a great financial position. We have amassed more parkland than anybody in Summit County other than the National Park System. And I agree with Mr. Costello. I think we need to continue to take advantage of the natural resources and the parkland and the opportunities that we have here, including, community programming and things of that nature. Additionally, a couple areas of infrastructure concern right now. We do have an aging service department. That facility is in need of really a complete overhaul. We currently have plans in place to update the city waste management facility. It should be noted that our waste management plant, our sewer plant, is a completely self-sustaining enterprise fund, meaning that it requires no other investment other than the fees that we charge. And as a result of that, we've been able to invest in that. We actually take Reminderville's wastewater and sewage as well. And we also need to update Station 1, which is the fire station that you see next to City Hall there on Ravenna Road. That station is in dire need of some updates and upgrades. We want to make sure that the men and women of our public safety services and our service department are outfitted with the latest and greatest, and that we do everything we can to ensure that we give them the best opportunity to serve the residents of the city of Twinsburg. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, question 2. For decades, plans have been discussed to develop the businesses around Twinsburg Township Square. Now that the square is new and improved, how can the council ensure equal beautification and development of the surrounding buildings, and how soon can this be implemented? We'll begin with Mr. Barr.
That's a great question, and probably one that I have been asked many times because we have talked about downtown development for quite some time. There are currently several different plans in the works, if you will, discussions and things to sort of beautify and update the downtown area. Again, going back to what Mr. Castillo said earlier, the area around the square is the responsibility of Twinsburg. The square itself is Twinsburg Township. So I know the township is currently working on updating the square. And now it's Twinsburg's turn to update the surrounding area. We've looked at things with our economic development director, Rebecca Ziegler, as far as what's called tax incremental financing, or a TIF, where tax revenue goes back to property owners to be used to improve and beautify the downtown. We're looking at updated signalization. We're looking at development opportunities that would bring mixed use, light commercial, retail, and even multifamily residential to the area. So these are all things that the current administration, the economic development director, are currently working on. In addition to what is new, I think we need to take a look at what is existing and try to improve upon that. And if that means, the city needs to look at grant opportunities and things to existing business owners to, again, beautify the downtown and make it a one cohesive entity, I think that's something that this council and this administration be willing to look at exploring. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Castillo?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Thank you. And it's, again, something that I take very seriously about redoing our downtown area. It's no secret that it needs a little bit of a kiss and some love to get updated. Part of one of the things that I believe leadership is jumping in and getting involved and meeting with the building owners, which I've done. I've met with several building owners, talked to them about their tenants that they currently have, what they're looking for in our community, what they're looking to attract to the community. I think it also comes back down to the square and who was operating the square and programming it. Without any foot traffic, it's very hard to get anybody to those businesses or to those buildings to attract businesses. So it's different steps that come in at incremental pace. we have to either work together or find a way to acquire the square. And I know that this has been something that's been worked on for many years. I met with former Mayor Prokop, and we talked about that, and she had shared some of the things that she had worked on related to the square, the current administration. But I think now is the time to actively take a role to work together or find a way to acquire the square. Once that happens, I think we kind of work to get businesses in there. Today, I was in Hinckley. I visited a bakery in Hinckley that took over a bank. And in the vault, they've got this wonderful little table where people are eating pastries. They've got a drive-through window, the old bank teller window. We have that here in Twinsburg. We have the old bank. Let's try to help our business owners find a commercial use or something along those lines that drive people to the retail area. So the baker is coming to Twinsburg to take a look at that space. Hopefully, we find some use out of it. Additionally, and I just want to say this very quickly, along the 91 corridor, we've talked about the Chase Bank redevelopment area, but Stowe, Hudson, Twinsburg, and Solon at the Liberty Ford site, they are working to do the same thing. It's very important that we actively approach this as a priority to find a developer to come in to work with us to build our city center's economic center. Thank you.
Thank you. Question 3. Twinsburg currently has regulations concerning what materials a new driveway can be made of, garage location, the placement of solar panels. Do you consider this government overreach? And if so, why or why not? Mr. Castillo.
Thanks. Twinsburg has community boards, right? And I was lucky enough to serve or to attend the BZA. I think Scott is the chairperson of that. Is that correct? Planning, sorry. And yes, the government steps in to ensure that we have some cohesiveness within our city to make sure that things are in line with what our city is looking to aesthetically put out there. But I've also seen where people have come forward with their, lack of better terms, a complaint because they didn't get the opportunity to present or to have their garage in a certain way. And I've seen our residents come together to some understanding to either share what our city rules are currently, or to work with the resident to make it more appealing. Overall, I think it's not necessarily a government overreach. I think our city government is in place to ensure that we have some standards that we live up to. And they're not very strict. And I think we know some communities to the south of us where you would say those standards are very strict. As far as even garages or in some cases the color of a building. But here we work with our residents to what I believe come to an outcome that is amenable for the city and for the resident looking to either build a project and that gets them through an appeal process. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Barr?
Would you mind reading the question one more time?
No, I would not. Twinsburg currently has regulations concerning what materials a new driveway can be made of a garage or the location or placement of solar panels. Do you consider this government overreach? And if so, why or why not?
Thank you. This is a perfect example of the government doing what the government should do. Twinsburg recently underwent a complete overhaul and rewrite of its zoning code. From stem to stern, we hired an outside firm. We had several points of community engagement, and the zoning code was put on the ballot and overwhelmingly supported in an election and passed by the people of Twinsburg. I'm a big fan of putting things on the ballot and allowing people to have a say. Furthermore, as Mr. Castillo pointed out, we do have a planning commission, we do have a board of zoning appeals, and we do have an architectural review board. It should be noted that those boards and commissions, those are not staffed, if you will, with members of city council. They are staffed with people that apply, that want to be a part of their community and shaping the way and the direction of the community. And, they are certainly guided by the ordinances and resolutions of the city of Twinsburg and the state of Ohio. But these are the opportunities. These are those community forums, if you will, for people to come in, make a case about a solar panel, make a case about a hardship where it comes to garage placement or driveway material. And oftentimes those things are viewed in the totality of their circumstances, and variances are given. So I think as long as we continue to have such great input and feedback from our residents, and we have just a strong desire for our residents to serve on those boards and commissions, I think we're actually going to continue to see representation of what the city wants by actual members of the city. And that's ultimately us doing our job.
Okay, thank you. This concludes the question portion of our program. Each candidate will now have 2 minutes to present their final thoughts. Mr. Barr, you'll begin.
Thank you. I'd like to start out by saying that the last 8 years have been truly an honor. There is nothing more humbling than serving the residents of not just this community, but any community. I am rooted in the service industry. The business I own is a service business. Like I mentioned before, as a police officer and a firefighter and an EMT, and what was seems like a previous life at this point, that was an opportunity to serve the community. So that reverence and that service is sort of inherent to just the person that I am. I appreciate Mr. Castillo wanting to get involved, and I applaud him for sticking his neck out there. This is not an easy thing to do. I have a wonderful working relationship with the members of council and our administration. I've spent 8 years cultivating relationships with our department heads, our chief of police, our fire chief, the service director. Those things take time. There is a learning curve to this job. And I'm not saying that my plan is to stay in office forever. There's an old saying about politicians and diapers. With that said, there are a few more things that I'd like to see this council, this administration accomplish, and I'd like to be a part of that. So I'm asking for people to, again, place their trust in me this November, and I would appreciate a vote for Scott Barr this November for City Council at Large. Thank you.
Mr. Barr, thank you. Mr. Castillo, your turn.
Well, thank you again for having us here tonight. And I've enjoyed this process. And thus far, I've enjoyed the campaign and getting to meet many of you out there in the community. And I'm looking forward to meeting even more of you as the next 40 days approach us. I think we're at a pivotal time here in Twinsburg. And I just want to kind of go back and pivot to what we were talking about as far as economic development. When I mentioned the 4 cities that are looking to build these city centers, how important it is that we take an active role to find a developer to come in to meet our needs and get there to the finish line first before somebody else does. On a side note, I don't also look at economic development as only buildings and infrastructure. I look at it and I ask people to have a little bit of an imagination with me as we kind of go back and pay a nod to Twinsburg. One of the things that I learned when we moved here was that Twinsburg had a croquet club, and it was off of Maple Street behind the Chamberlain's house. My wife and I got married at the National Croquet Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. So it kind of caught my attention. And I've been saying to people, what if we went back? We've got these great parks. What if we went to Liberty Park and we said, let's go down and convince the people in West Palm Beach in August, where it's blazing hot, to come to Cleveland, to come to Twinsburg, and let's host the Akron, Cleveland, the Cleveland, Akron, the Cleveland, whoever we're able to partner with, Croquet Invitational. And we build economic development through that also. So I think we have a lot of opportunity in our city. I look forward to being a part of it. And this process is, like I said, been fun, and it's an exciting time for me. So thank you for inviting me into your homes and letting me hear your story, some crazy and some not so crazy, and for you allowing me to tell my story. I would just say I would also be humbled if you would cast a vote for me this November 4th. And if you go to my website, voteshancastillo.com, my phone number's in there, my email's in there. Please reach out. Happy to make connection with you. And thank you again.
First of all, thanks to both of you for being on the show this evening, and thank you for watching. So thank you for joining us as we learned a little bit more about the City of Twinsburg's Council-at-Large candidates. Remember, you can view this program at any time on our app or at mycommunityfocus.app. But be sure to vote on Tuesday, November 4th.